Hey there, it's Derek from Pacific Coast Auto here in Japan, and this is a 2004 Toyota Crown Athlete. This one bought from the auctions in Japan for export. Now this one's already been sold to a customer. That's the way that we do the business, is you guys find the cars that you want and then we buy them and ship them for you. It's a 3-liter V6. I believe this is a 1GR engine. Very reliable in lots of Toyotas. Nothing really to say here. Coolant and oil both look to be okay. This car has 96,027 kilometers, and while that's pretty high for one of these Crowns of this age, a lot of them have lower mileage than this. This is a good price to go, or a good mileage to go for if you're looking for a good value price. And while I can't say the exact cost of this one, it's typical that these are about $1,000 to $3,000 depending on the condition. And so the condition of this one might be a little bit below average, so the price of this one might be a little bit below average. That said, it's still a very high quality, well-built car, and you'll see throughout this video that you get pretty good value for it. These especially have very good build quality on them, and so they feel great basically all the way around, and they're very, very good value at the price that they are. Now I'm going to translate this sheet for you. This is the auction sheet, and these sheets are your key to the condition of the vehicle. And all of the cars for sale in Japan have these, and so if you're buying one without an auction sheet, you're doing it wrong. So 2004 Crown Athlete, auction grade 4 with an interior grade C. Power steering, power windows, alloy wheels, airbag, ABS, and Navi. That's the original Navi in this one. Okay, 96,021 kilometers. These are authentic mileage, otherwise it would state it on there. And it's original silver color, not color changed. Comes with the original Navi, reverse monitor, power seats in it, that's for the front two. And then the condition of it here, wheels scratched. They're actually pretty heavily scratched, but you can always change wheels if you want to. Door mirrors scratched, things like this. Windshield rock chip, nothing I would worry about. Interior dirty and scratched. It's a smart key car with a smart key in the car, and the dashboard is cracked. Looking at the body here, it has A3U2 here, which is a pretty serious damage. I'll show you that. It's on the right rear fender, and then A3 on the left rear fender. But the rest of the car is pretty good looking, I would say. Now first off, I want to show you the dashboard crack, because to me that sounds like the biggest problem. It's actually less of a problem. I looked over the entire dashboard and couldn't find it, but then I did find it over here. Now look here, this area right here has a crack. And then it follows up the body line here, and then goes toward the vent there. And so it looks like some super glue and then clamping it, or maybe just super glue should be enough to do it. And it's not very noticeable, and so I don't think that it's really anything to be too worried about. At any rate, let's do a once around of the car so you can see it from all angles. Headlights are nice and clear, so it looks like it was probably parked in a parkade or undercover. A lot of cars in Japan are parked in neighborhood lots. You see like this lot here. This is just where we store our cars, but when they're getting ready to be reported on. A lot like this is really common all throughout Japan, where people will park their cars if they don't have a parking spot at their house. And a lot of apartments here don't have parking spots, and you'll see a lot of cars just get parked outside where they can be sun damaged. And it does have some sun damage on the rear spoiler, I'll show you that. This corner here is where there's the big damage. You probably won't be able to notice it very much until we get up close to it, which I will later in the video. Okay, and if you haven't done so already, our website has a ton of information about like lists of cars that are up for auction at the moment. Tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of cars per week. Okay, so headlights, really like the headlights in these, very complicated, jewel-like looking. Especially looks good when they're as clear as this. Got a few rock chips on the front end here, and then a larger one here on the front grille. The grille also has some fade of the black paint in there on the logo. Okay, front bumper has a little bit of damage here, and a little bit of damage here and here. Now this one here is like kind of melted or painted over. It's like it got some damage and then was touched up with touch-up paint. Doors are both really good on this side and on the other side. And then the A3 scratch is from here to the tail light. and the bumper damages on this corner. So you can see quite a bit of like touch-up paint. These cars are often owned by, you know, retired people who don't drive very much, but also don't know how to drive very well because of it. That's the paint fade. And this is just dirtiness. The cars come in from the auction dirty. We report them, we send them out. They, for some countries, they have to get washed at the port, and if they have to, we will. Otherwise, you know, it's a wholesale way to buy, and so that's one of the things you have to deal with. You get the lower price, so you don't have somebody to clean it up. Scratch there, and then here's the bigger damage right there, and here. So this is what they called an A3U2. And the rest of these look good, and then there's one dent. Where is that dent? Here it is, right next to the headlight here. Okay, so that's all the damage I could find on the exterior. Interior, I would say, is in quite good condition. Nice big trunk. And as far as a sedan of this body shape goes, I really can't think of a car that is better value than this. In fact, the only cars I really like of this style that are better than these are like an M5 or something like that, or a 5 Series or a C-Class, but much more reliable. You know what, it feels like it's better built. And it's funny, we don't sell too many of these Crowns. We need to sell more. Okay, so door cards are fine. Power windows, of course. Power locks. This is fake wood, but it's a nice, it looks nice. It doesn't look like fake wood from the 80s. It's just a good look. Seats are awesome and in good condition. Take a look at this driver's seat. Not very much wear on it at all. And for 100,000 kilometers, which, as I said, is a little bit higher than average for these, very little amount of sag on the outside cushion. So that's power seats with power lumbar. Steering wheel is perfect. And when I was talking about build quality, it's things like the smoothness of the steering wheel that you really notice if you think about it. A car like this just feels better than so many other cars. Engine start button there. Smart key. Stylish looking gauges. AC works, and it's dual zone AC, so you get driver's zone and passenger zone over here. Comes with a Navi screen, which is a little bit annoying, especially since your AC controls are in the screen. So if you were to change this out, you would no longer have full access to like where you're sending the AC, so you got to keep that. Nowadays it's not so much of a problem because you just use your smartphone for basically everything, but these kind of things are a little bit annoying in that regard. It's also Japanese buttons. And most Japanese cars will have English buttons on them, like this, dual volume power. This one here is the volume knob, temperature. But the Crown for some reason has more Japanese than your average car. Shifting is nice and smooth, and you can pick your own gears if you really want to, like paddle shift kind of style, but there are no paddles. What is that called? Like a sequential transmission? It's just a regular transmission in this, but able to be shifted through the gears by going forward and back there. Sport or normal suspension there, and this is really cool. I love this. Check it. That one goes back and then back again. So you can go down, forward. It's way more fun than it looks. This is a toll collection box. That one's an air freshener. This one's never been smoked in. Smells nice. And you can't see those dashboard cracks. Look at that. Okay, let's pop the trunk. Back seats. That's good. Nothing much to talk about there. It looks like it has been cleaned with an extractor. Like this car was owned by a dealer here in Japan who cleaned it up properly. And so that's good. A lot of times, because you're buying from the auction, they turn out really dirty on the interior because people sell their car. They didn't clean it before they sold it, and the cars go direct to auction. This one's cleaner than what you can normally expect. Except for in the trunk. Maybe I am wrong about that. A dealer would definitely have cleaned out the trunk here. And then there's a full-size spare, not a small spare underneath here. Ooh, full size. Okay. And Japan Auto Federation 20-year member. Wow. I'm a member, but I'm only a 2-year member, or 3 years. 20-year member. We know this is a grandfatherly type that used to own this. Anyways, there you go. Fantastic car. Stylish. reliable, well built, good on fuel. One of my favorite cars. There you go. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, check out our website. You can check out our email too. You can email us. You can comment with people in the comments section. You can take a look at other videos that we make if you want. Anyway, that's the end of the video here. Hope you enjoyed it. And have a nice day. Woo.